How do you do? My name is James Douglas and welcome to my reflective synopsis. I'd like to share with you a story about ongoing discovery and transition, a journey from immigrant to native, a journey from analog to digital, quite simply a journey of learning. This journey of learning is perhaps best summed up in the 6-word statement, ICT will always be with me. I've held a fascination with different forms of technology since I can remember, and throughout this course I've been exposed to some I had dismissed but now embrace. So let's begin. As a child, I was fascinated with technology. I wanted to know the answer to that question, what does that button do? Where I began was taking radios apart to find where the little talking people were. As an adolescent, I built a crystal radio set to tune in and discover new music from across the airwaves. In my teens, colour television entered our home, as did something called video games. We initially played these simple games for hours, but to be honest, they had limited appeal for me because they didn't really do much. I was more into recording music on reel-to-reel tapes, then cassettes, and making up mixtapes and swapping with friends. I used tapes to record my own guitar playing and to help me write songs. When I later formed a band, we recorded our rehearsals and live shows, and then I produced our own demos on analog 4-track recorder, mixing the music down onto videotape before producing our very own cassette tapes for sale. Then I discovered video cameras. Not content with owning my first computer, I liked to take it apart just to see how it worked, tweaking all the settings, much to my then wife's dismay. Some things never changed and that little button remained with me. My own kids have had Nintendo games, Game Boys, PlayStations, computer games, you name it. But how to frame all this? As an adult student, then occasional tertiary teacher of media studies, a guiding name in the ranks of understanding media is the media philosopher Marshall McLuhan. His famous "The medium is a message" observation relates to the digital realm perhaps more than at any other time. And that brings in pedagogical concerns of the likes of Prensky. Prensky coined the terms digital natives and digital immigrants, with the natives being those young people born into a time where digital technology was part of everyday life. The digital immigrants were the older generation of teachers tied to outdated pedagogical practices that meant the natives were in danger of being left behind. For Prensky, the language of the immigrants and natives was quite different, resulting in what he termed the biggest problem in schools being digital immigrant instructors who speak an outdated language are struggling to teach a population that speaks an entirely new language. There was need for changes in educational practices. Concerns raised by the likes of Prensky are echoed in a later Education Services report that recognised the importance of technology-enriched learning, but highlighted the need to both understand what types of skills were needed by teachers and then to provide opportunities for teachers to upskill, as few were actually equipped to teach them. Consideration of Bloom's taxonomy and the SAMR model provides guidance on how to approach the teaching of digital technologies. While I was familiar with Bloom's work, I had not encountered the SAMR model prior to this course. The more I apply it to digital pedagogy, the more I understand its power and relevance. Bloom's model of learning that progressed low-end pedagogy knowledge through to a high-end pedagogy of evaluation has been revised and challenged over the years, but still makes sense. Understanding that the steps don't necessarily progress in a linear way, though, is crucial to thinking about how we teach, but more importantly, how students learn. While it can be considered alongside Bloom's work, Fuentedura's concept of SAMR relates specifically to teaching with technology. Its 4 steps, substitution, augmentation, modification, and redefinition, can be applied to help redefine traditional teaching practices and recognize the need to focus on student-centered learning. When compared alongside one another, it is possible to make the connections to both models of learning and understand that they are not mutually exclusive, yet SAMR presents a more direct application to the world of digital pedagogy as being one that enhances and transforms both teaching practice and learning. The concept of Tpack, I said Tpack, helps put this into context. Tpack simply refers to technological, pedagogical, and content knowledge. As teachers, we are experts in our chosen knowledge areas, but understanding how to use that in association with technology and learning strategies is crucial. Which brings me back to my personal learning journey. For this course, the first major task we had to do was create a blog and write about our interactions with ICT and the various new technologies we were being exposed to. There were so many new toys to try: blogs, wikis, Wix, Padlets, Powtoons. As someone who had tried and failed with blogs in the past, I approached my own learning with caution. Tapping into that childhood button question again, I started to explore. I quickly found that blogging opened up new possibilities for me, not just to express my thoughts, but to learn from the posts and thoughts of others. As I explored the writings of fellow learners, I discovered a whole other world of new teaching enhancement tools. And more importantly, through their generous feedback to my posts, I came to see where I could modify and improve while providing feedback on their posts, put me in the role of teacher as transformational learner. In summing up, my journey from analog to digital immigrant through to being considered on a par or even to be capable of engaging with the real digital natives is far from over. There are so many possibilities to explore and consider from a pedagogical perspective. And pedagogy is prime. The technology is one thing, but learning how to use it to teach effectively and to inspire lifelong learning is the goal. There are certain to be challenges ahead as I journey through my transition, but I am really enjoying meeting the natives so far. Thanks for listening.